crowded tonight.
6 o'clock game, right?
Huh?
6 o'clock game.
All right, we'll start with the
All the big
statement,
guns.
then we'll take questions. Coach?
Just really proud of the win tonight. Just it's kind of a weird game, honestly. We got off to a pretty good start. Ty had that little burst to put us up 10, and then, man, we couldn't have played any more poorly the last 10 minutes of the half. And I just didn't really like our fight and our competitive spirit and our physicality, and we were letting some missed shots get to us mentally, and all of a sudden it's an 18-2 run. And they had all kinds of momentum going into the half. Just really challenged our guys. I said, guys, it's not panic time, but it's extreme sense of urgency time. This coming home off of the game on Sunday, Michigan, tough loss, overtime. You come home, you got to win these games, if you want to stay relevant. And we knew that, and just really proud of the guys, how they played in the second half. And I say it, the guys probably make fun of me all the time, but it's you guys. I've talked about it. I'm a big believer in the basketball gods, and I just feel like when guys really immerse themselves in the game and they compete and they're all about winning and their team, and then the ball just magically starts going in, because that's just what happens, because you're just so locked into fighting and competing. And obviously to have that spurt of three-point shooting in the second half, Ty was amazing. Just so proud of him. Much has been talked about his struggles, but his ability to come out tonight and really carry us for a long time, until other guys could get going. You look at Brooks's stat line, incredible, guys. Just what a special player at this level. Who else is I don't know. There's other great players, but who else is getting steals and blocks and assists and rebounds and scoring and busting their nose up, and just who's doing that? What a competitor. And I thought Jalen in the second half was big time, which we need. We need Jalen to be that aggressive guy. There's so much attention on Brooks and Nick, and we need him and Ty to really be those complementary pieces. And although he didn't score, I thought Matt's presence at the rim, just with the ability to change some shots with Ballo, they're huge. Ballo is a tremendous talent. I thought we changed a lot of shots at the rim. We did our best, to kind of limit what they could do in the paint. So great team win, awesome on a short turnaround, and excited to kind of keep this thing moving forward.
Matt?
Coach, career high 7 made threes for Ty tonight. How does his performance kind of embody the faith you've had in each other throughout the season in his career?
Yeah, it's no secret. I've told you guys. I've always loved Ty. I love his energy. I'm an enthusiastic person, and I'm a high energy person, and I played that way. And coaches need to get some of that too in return. And he fills my bucket a lot with that. And that's why when he's not right, it affects me. And because I love feeding off his energy and his enthusiasm and that smile that he has when he's playing with joy. And it hasn't been easy for him coming off a serious injury. He was out for 6 to 8 months. And it's been a slow process. And I've just told him to hang in there. Told you guys we had a little bit of a reset a couple games ago. Just come off the bench here and just kind of it's not a demotion, but let's just take a look at something different. Maybe, watch the first 4 minutes, feel your way. And ever since he's done that, he's just responded in a big way. But it's not surprising to me, because that's the kind of person he is, and what he's meant. He's a big part of, guys, these last 2-3 years, this resurgence of our program and winning and culture and things with leadership and teammates and all those kind of things. Like he's a huge part of that, and it's just awesome to see him have that kind of night.
This was another game with him playing 30 minutes in that bench role. Do you think that's where he'll be going forward?
I don't know.
Performances like
I don't
this?
know. I started him in the second half, so I just felt with the urgency of the game, we needed our vets on the floor. We were down 6, but we'll he knows he's going to play, and he's going to be at the end of the game. So whether we choose to keep bringing him off the bench or not going forward, we'll figure that out over the next couple days. But he knows how big of a role he has on this team, regardless if he starts or not.
Coach, you mentioned that 18-2 run right before halftime. I think you guys missed 12 straight field goals going to Avenue. said that you told the guys that it's extremely nervous. time.
Well, not nervous, sense of urgency.
Sense of urgency time.
Yeah.
Those conversations at halftime, is that a lot of coach-driven talk, or is it the players who are leading?
I think it's both. You know, what I do a lot is I go in there initially and give them my initial thoughts. And then the coaches and I kind of go to our coaches' room and give them about 5 to 7 minutes to let them talk about the game. So there's initial where it's coach-driven by me, usually just very positive and nice, and don't raise my voice at all. But then our coaches kind of go and talk about what we need to do, and then they have time to kind of talk about what's going on. And fortunately, we have great leadership, and they responded. Like I just told them, guys, I mean, this is a season-defining half coming up, you know, and we can choose to have this thing go either way. And I knew what the response. I didn't know we were going to win, but I knew how they were going to respond, and it was just great to see them play that kind of half in the second half.
Sponge.
Today, your defense forced 17 turnovers, 42% on their field goal attempts. What did you see out of your defense today that made you guys so effective?
Yeah, I just feel like we've been playing better defense. You know, we've kind of recommitted, not recommitted, but greater sense of urgency. I've really challenged the guys in scouting to really lock in even more, even at a higher level. And guys, even the Michigan game the other day, like we held them to 65 in regulation. I mean, on their home floor, Michigan was averaging 90 plus a game. You know, and we did we just didn't close the deal. You know, we didn't make a couple shots there at the end, but you know, I feel like these last 3 games in particular, the Maryland game, Michigan game, and now Indiana, we're kind of getting back to that defensive identity that we need, our hand activity, our aggressiveness, our physicality. And it's good to see because we're going to need it. We're going to need it as we move forward.
Louis.
Hey, Coach, this is 5 straight over Indiana, something that...
Yeah, somebody told me that.
Yeah, unthinkable.
He said it's been a while.
Just a little
Andy
while
Katz
ago.
told me it's been a few years when we were out on the
1913
floor.
to 1950.
1915?
13 to 50, yeah.
Wow.
So
Must have
what
been
does that
some
say
good
about your
Northwestern
program?
teams.
Yeah. What does that say about your program and how far you've come?
Guys, I just said we're just trying to earn our respect in this league. We're in the best league in the country, and you know we know you play a team like Indiana that's got 5, 6, whatever national championships and Big Ten titles and historical players and coaches, and we have that down the line. The Purdue's, the Illinois, the Maryland's. Like we're trying to build something here, and it's a fun process, but you also know it's going to be harder. It's going to be harder for everybody. It's hard for fans to understand that. It's hard for other people who wear striped shirts to understand that. But we've become a good team. We've become a good team, and we have good players, and we have a winning identity, and we fight really hard, and it's shown over these past couple years, with our wins.
Chris.
I got 2 for you. It seems like there's a moment, not in every game, that Brooks kind of makes you hold your breath a little bit. Is
Only
he,
one?
Is he good? Is Brooks okay?
With his, he said he just, but I don't know. He may not be, but he's a warrior, guys. I mean, I just tell each of you guys, if you're ever in a tough spot and you need to go into battle in any way, shape, or form, you want Brooks Barnheiser by your side. I mean, he's going to fight to the death for you. I mean, when he believes in you, and when he has your back, and I just love that about him. And he said he just fell on his nose, so he assured me that he's going to be okay. But I'm sure he's going to be pretty sore, tomorrow, and hopefully there's no residual damage.
And then when you're up for 54 to 52, and you go on that run and make it 70 to 56, what went into that? How much did Ty's shooting open up Jalen's shooting and kind of space the floor?
Well, it becomes contagious. There's no question. Just like missing does. I think in the first half you said we missed 11 or 12. When everybody's missing, that can be contagious at times. And then when the ball's going in like that, I think it can become contagious. And I think Ty hitting those shots, and then that unleashed Jalen. Nick made a couple threes. Brooks stepped up, made a big 3 during that stretch. So, I thought we kind of fed off of Ty's shooting and really got hot there for a while.
Roger.
I mean, you've talked quite a bit about Ty's big game tonight, but this is 3 solid games in a row.
Yeah, sure.
What kind of was happening behind the scenes? What were those conversations, and what was he working on to get back to this point?
Yeah, I mean, just work. I mean, there's no magic potion. Like you just get to work. And the one thing I was on him, and it's hard because I had a serious injury when I was in college, and you know, it especially, and I had a foot injury, his was a knee, but there's a time period where not just your health, but just getting your mind back to that fire, that competitive spirit. And it's not that it's bad. I mean, he was fine. I just didn't feel like he was all the way. And I really have challenged him. You guys have been following us. I've told you guys to get to find that, refine that fire. You know, he's got what, 12 games left here at Northwestern. He's been a great player for us here for 5 years. He's been a great student. He's he loves this place. I said, man, like let's regain that stoke that fire for these last, and he's responded. And it's him. It's nothing I've said. It's nothing, you know, his teammates support him, but it's him. He's gotten in the gym. He's worked hard, and he deserves it because he's put the time in to get himself back.
Eli.
Coach, this has been the second straight game where Brooks, Nick, Jalen, and Ty have been your only 4 players.
I just
to make
saw that.
field
Yeah.
goals. Does that trend concern you at all?
Yeah.
Or,
No, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it absolutely does. And I've said it, we got to try to, look, you got to survive the game. So whatever that game tonight, like tonight was a game for the vets. I rode the vets the second half. They were playing well. That group was playing well. We went with those guys. But, you know, this, for us to be the team that we want to be, we need the 2 freshmen. We need Justin Mullins. We need Luke and Keenan and Matt. I mean, Matt's playing well. Matt's never going to be a big scorer. You know, we have to opportunistically, we had him late there, and we had a turnover that would have put us up 16, but we need to find a way. Can Matt give us 6 to 8 points off his dump offs, off his lobs, offensive rebounds? But yeah, I mean, we can't just rely on 4 guys to score to win in this league. But tonight we had to survive, and that's what it took. And you know, I have a lot of faith and belief. We're going to keep working with our young players. We're going to keep spending time and investing in them, and hopefully that'll start coming to fruition in games.
Time for a couple more questions. The back.
Coach, you said you started Ty in the second half, and you also didn't take him out. He played the entirety of the last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Even if he's not starting for you guys, what does it mean for your team to have a player of that caliber and of that experience being able to close games for you?
Yeah, I mean, just you said it. I mean, just winning experience. I mean, I've talked about it a lot. When you cross the bridge to become teams that I admire, programs that I admire, there's a belief, and I was a part of one of those programs for 17 years. So you feel it when you get in those games and they're close. You just believe you're going to win. You know, you don't hope you're going to win. You believe we're going to win because that's what we do. And over the past couple years, I've started to see that attitude, and certainly Boo was a big driver of that, but Ty and Brooks, and now Nick and Matt Nicholson, and all these guys that have been a part of that, Chase Audit, over the past couple years, that have kind of brought that winning, Robbie Barron, you know, winning mentality of, you know what, no, guys, just because we're Northwestern, we're still going to win. And Ty plays a huge role in that, and a lot of it because he's done it. It's hard to say it if you haven't done it, but when you've done it in big situations against good teams, home and road, then you start to feel it and you start to believe it.
Any more questions? All right, then wrap us up.
All right, thank you guys. Appreciate you.
Thanks.